members. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I would also like to thank WDO President David Kusuma, because when he took over, he said that how World Design Organization can work in various verticals, and one was the Global Design Policy Framework, that the member organization can get benefited with that, and if this framework can be worked out, which we are trying to achieve, then each country can make their design policy according to their requirements. So it is not that one is trying to impose that these are the things are there, but it's just a framework, or you can say template, which we are trying to attempt. Last 2 days, means yesterday and today, I would say that amazing deliberation about design policies and a lot of experience in this room. I would say that if we collate that all, I'm sure that this task of making the framework will not be so difficult. Anna, she's made the presentation yesterday, and know that a lot of time which she has spent in the policy making, and same way is Giselle. She also has worked in this area, in fact, her doctorate, and like that, many of the speakers who did talk about UK Design Council will very strongly presence and influence the government on developmental activities. And today also the speakers which they talked about from Helsinki, Austria, and other places have brought in a lot of information into the scene. So in my presentation, there is a likelihood that there will be a lot of repetition, because what I am going to show has already been shown. But certainly I would like to put a context where we are heading, and this discussion about designers trying to change the world and how we can just place designers as one of the link we are discussing about, that yes, we are not everything, but we are a link in the whole socio-economic, cultural, environmental, developmental activities, and it's an important link. And how government we can influence them, that yes, our say is also important, and obviously we need to have some kind of data, which already actually Brandon was talking about. There is a lot of data available, and certainly it can be shown through case studies that design does make difference on various aspects of it. Certainly one aspect which I was thinking about, the World Design Capital, I think it is the 8th one or so. We need to really have that before World Design Capital, what was Valencia, and how after World Design Capital, what are the changes which have happened. And if such kind of data we get, then we would be in position to really influence government strongly that what design has done in 1.5 years or 2 years of existence of World Design Capital. So coming to changing scenario, which yesterday was also discussed on rethinking the design, would like to go back a little bit about the second industrial revolution, when the design education, which was more consumer-centric, which we discussed about, and then slowly the definition started changing from consumer to user to human center, and then stakeholder today Alok was talking about. So this particular shift which has happened, I'm sure that how are we going to really bring in the policy, that aspect also we have to really look into. But Japan has come out with this Society 5.0. After Industry 4.0, Society 5.0, I think in design policy, there is a lot to learn from Society 5.0, which talks about that how the artificial intelligence and robotics can help society to have a better quality of life, and how we can really incorporate those aspects in that. With this, I'll take you to the presentation where it's under process. It is basically trying to make the framework. In fact, India came out in 2007, this very thin national design policy. It certainly has influenced government to the extent that a good design selection system, with the help of Japan Institute of Design Promotion, we could manage to take it forward. So yes, influence has happened, and how to take it more. And WDO is certainly a vehicle which has, to say or to convince government of different countries And we felt that this is a great initiative by WDO, and we are taking it forward. And most likely, we would be able to come out with some kind of prototype on policy framework in the General Assembly, which will be happening in Tokyo in October 2023. So Design for a Better World, which World Design Organization always believed in, and our mission is to create a world where design enhances our economic, social, cultural, and environmental quality of life. Programming is the heart of our mission, and expected outcome of the global design policy framework, template which we are talking about, integrating global design ecosystem, share issues of collaborative solutions. So collaboration is coming very strongly here. Creating opportunities to interact with design communities, bring design communities together, listen to their experiences in different areas of developmental activities, highlight leading policy interventions, what are the leading policy interventions are there, and influence policymaker to take necessary action. So government, this was discussed, and Brandon has very strongly advocated about government are the key drivers in individualizing the design. Now here, the point which Alok made very relevant, that how this design literacy, because all these bureaucrats at the senior level, when they are in a power position, they are very senior and they do not have much of actually absorbing power. And if suppose in their training and in their education, if we expose them with the design literacy, when they come in power of making decisions and influencing the developmental activities, I think somewhere back of their mind, if they have gone through design literacy, they would be able to implement it effectively, and at least they would know where to go. So I think one attempt certainly in the policy making is that when these bureaucrats are joining their training, could there be a design literacy other than the schooling and college which we are talking about? Because when we are giving inputs of design in management, in technology, in social science, I think idea is not to make them designer, but also when at least they can appreciate what kind of link which can give benefit to them. So when they are in a power position, certainly they can get in touch with the people who know this subject very well. And global design economy, it has been dealt very strongly by UK Design Council, and Anna also has spoke about that figures were given, so we are not talking about figure, but yes, UK, USA, Italy, China, they all have really taken actually competitive advantage through design, integrating in manufacturing and service sector and other sectors as well. And design strategy across the globe, if you look into, is that yes, UK is there for many, many years, many decades, I will say. The German, 1953 onwards, Denmark, France, Sweden, Latvia, Finland, India, Japan, Estonia, and Ireland. Nice to know that the Estonia, India, Latvia, these countries were struggling of their own thing, but they have given some importance to design. And mind you, that not many developed countries have design policies, while some of these countries who have taken lead, that certainly is remarkable, actually, in my view. So common observations, if you look into that which were deliberated, the design policy often embedded with innovation policy. There is a confusion between design policy and innovation policy, because innovation and technology is all the time discussed, and then people confuse it with innovation policy, therefore difficult to identify. We need to make it very clear. Design policy often tacit element of innovation policy. They're dealing with a lot of subjective areas, and that's why this sometimes become a very, very tacit in its nature. Design policy ecosystem framework is essential as a means of identity embedded design policy action in given national context, and to establish clear picture of the organization and government bodies that support design policy in practice. The research of design policy characterized by many gaps. So that is again design research we have to define very clearly. The business value of design, again it has been discussed earlier, and I am not going to talk much about it, but US, if you see that 8% of leading IPOs listed in New York, what you call the exchange, stock exchange, are design-related corporations. So design, it is really making sense that how design is really getting into. Pandemic hit design sector, 3 million jobs affected, expected to recover in next 2 years. So that is again coming out. China and India, the stories are growing very fast over there. And this we thought from the beginning that if design policy framework which we are creating, we need to keep the focus on SDGs, because the economic development and sustainability go hand in hand. That is the model which we need to create in policy, and this was the focus area for us to create the policy framework. And description of the mandate, promote design through globally recognized, well-defined regularity framework, cooperate with international design organizations to showcase design innovation through strategic integration, create future of design workforce, contribute to socio-economic growth, align design investment on development of product and services in various sectors, raise interest in general public. This is important. The general public need to know the purchase purchase sustainable products that impact quality of life, build a standards approach across countries for design consultancy services. There are a lot of variations, and within the countries also there are problems in design consultancy services provider, and there has to be some similar kind of approach in that. Human development, capacity building, very, very important. Support for research, majority of universities which are putting a lot of money in research, but is design research taking that kind of scenario. Service supply, measure the enhance the demand of design-related services, so how we can really create that kind of demand in that area. Technical support, yes, the tools which we are talking about, whether the tools are available or not for the designers to come out with solutions, and networking and collaborations, measures to improve connectivity and collaboration. Framework of development, promotion and advocacy. I think the design advocacy and design activism, very important that all platforms, WDO or Design Council or other areas which we are talking about, we need to have a very strong design advocacy through competitions or through whatever discussions at public forums, because this was also discussed that designers are all the time talking about with the designers and feeling great about it, that yes, we are great. But when you call ministers and other people, again, Brandon mentioned about that after inaugural function, they just go away. But somewhere I think we need to really talk to the professionals. Why not veterinary doctor in this conference who are knowing? Why not a person who is working in the infrastructure areas and they know? So how we can really bring in all these people and at least tell them that we are also one of the added value in the activity which we are doing. And ecosystem, what we mentioned about is the government and governance, local or national government, municipalities, governmental institutions and bodies, similarly advocacy bodies promoting the design, consultancy and professional sector, research and education, and the demand, individuals, communities and organizations that benefit from the design as an external service. So this is somewhere I think we need to realize that not we are saying we are important, but how others really gauge our value, that yes, if they involve us, the value will increase, and that is somewhere this value proposition which we have to create. Achieving holistic growth at various levels, national level, regional level, and local level, the industry and companies, promotional and distributions and skills and ideas. So I will not go in this detail, but here the Chamber of Commerce and other agencies which are there, that they are operating at a national level, regional level, and local level, that how we can really involve them in the holistic growth level, and obviously the Ministry of Culture, Skill, Design Council and other areas which we can collaborate and do that. So the policy framework certainly will take it. So proposed deliverables is the perpetual use of design and creative thinking. The industry, government, social sector, and other direct beneficiaries through lectures, demos, seminars, workshops, social media, and publications explore and collaborate data design opportunity and values. The third one is provide space for creative expression. There has to be provide space for creative expression and the global creative opinion via exhibitions, which is generally it's happening. Establish digital resource. Now this is important, where the case study, impact studies can be put it on that how design really help in improving the quality of life and sustainable environment. So integrated design hubs can come in. And then the last one is the promote international exchange, cooperation, and collaboration. And in education, I have seen that why we have this exchange program, because there is a global perspective which you can appreciate, and you would be able to really appreciate that what is the global perspective in design, and you learn from each other. So recommendations based on input received, which we have limited inputs, but we are circulating through our secretariat to the questionnaire, and once we get the information from all of you, I think it will really help us in taking our design policy framework to the next level. So we'll have set up a policy recommendations for the government of respective country, which could be tailor-made based on the requirement. We encourage the production and the use of indigenous product. This is again coming very strongly that we need to encourage in policy framework the indigenous product and services delivered from traditional culture and heritage. We'll suggest methods of raising the design education standard, collaboration with international institutions, devices a framework for evaluating the quality standard. Now, there is a loss of quality of design education when the expansion of design education is happening. How are we going to really measure the quality of design education? So, some suggestions on that. We'll provide suggestions on attracting investment, including foreign direct investment in design services and design-related R&D. So, all these people, they have really proved that, yes, design makes the difference, and major contribution dealing with government and convincing government that it makes difference, and they have really made inroads with the government strongly. So project execution phase, which we have to give some timeline, but we want to come out as pilot project, and as I mentioned that in Japan, October 2023. So the first stage is survey, which is going on, and we would like to have your inputs on that. Then task force will analyze those data which we are collecting. Country agonists and the draft design policy framework will be created. Draft weighted by recommendation, weighted for recommendations. We will circulate it and get recommendation, and pilot draft policy framework which we will come out. Still 2 minutes left. I think I have completed my presentation. I was a bit worried about the time because I was told that you will be pulled after 20 minutes out. So just to tell you that this is a simple thing which we tried to achieve in India in 2007. In fact, all stakeholders which we got together and asked them their inputs, but it has influenced. It has influenced to that extent that India Design Mark has come up, more design schools on the line of National Institute of Design have come up, and the technology institutes have started design disciplines actually. So yes, influence is there. We have to be positive. We have to be more optimistic to see that yes, design policy can certainly influence the government for taking agenda forward of better quality of life, development, socio-economic, cultural development with the sustainable development goals in center, and how the society 5.0, how this high-end technology, which is the industry 4.0, which is talking about how you really put stakeholders or human in center and see that it's not the technology is providing, then you just come out with solutions, but what is the context, in what context you can use this technology for the betterment of planet Earth and for all of us. As I always feel that we are no one to take care of planet because planet was there before and planet will be there. Only thing which will not be there is we will not be there. So we have to take care of ourselves by which the planet will also be taken care, and we have to make a policy which is conducive to our existence and development and peace of mind, and that is the way I think we need to go forward. Thank you so much. Zero, 20 minutes now.